Hey guys, it's Dan, your host of TWD Reviews, and today I'm back for another video for The Wolf Among Us. This one's going to be for Season 1, Episode 3, A Crooked Mile. Another video for today. This one's going to be doing my weekly review for this week's episode of The Wolf Among Us Season 1. This is going to be for Episode 3, The Crooked Mile. So guys, I cannot wait to start talking about this episode. This episode was super intense, and specifically at the end. So I want to talk about it. I do have a few flaws for this week, but still a really good episode and still a very enjoyable kind of, man, the ending just sucked me in. I can't believe how this episode kind of went at the end. So let's talk about it and let's discuss. So we are officially halfway through, and just to let you guys know, for next week for episodes 4 and 5, both of those episodes will be getting reviews next week. Next Tuesday will be like this Tuesday coming up. We're going to do episode 4, and then on Friday we're going to do episode 5, the finale. So we're doing 2 next week. We're going to be wrapping up The Wolf Among Us next week already, but it's because we got a lot of other shows coming up and a lot of other things to kind of cover, so that is why we're kind of cramming it in a little bit. So hopefully you guys are good for 2 episodes next week. So let's discuss The Crooked Mile, Episode 3. So basically, we pick up exactly where we left off. We basically have, of course, Bigby that continues his investigation. We got, of course, Beauty there. And, of course, he says that, yeah, it was Crane. He lets all of them know. And basically, we get the funeral. Now, this funeral scene was very interesting to me, of course. We do have, of course, Lily's funeral, of course, Holly that's there. They don't really want Bigby there. Even Snow's kind of in the middle of, she's obviously, like, part of it. So she's kind of like, okay, like, this better be important, whatever you're coming here to, of course, to do. And, of course, he lets her know about Crane. Now, we get to see the 2 twins, of course. And basically, they point a shotgun towards, Bigby. And I'm just sitting there the whole time like, man, you don't point a shotgun to Bigby. Like, and honestly, of course, he gets out of it, of course, as usual, but it's kind of like, you better leave us alone, that type of thing. And it's like, are you working for Crane? That's what I asked them or whatever. And basically, he's like, yeah, say yes, and as Bigby, I don't say yes, I don't agree with their deal. And they're like, yeah, that's not an answer, but of course we got the back and forth fight, and we got Holly that of course interferes. Now, this scene really got me pumped up for the episode, and I remember just kind of being on edge when I'm kind of like just struggling through this fight. And basically you've got, Holly that kind of turns and stuff like this. We kind of got this fight that kind of ensues. So definitely a really interesting start to the episode for sure. Now, basically after the intro, of course, we basically have, which amazing intro as usual. Then we cut over basically to the characters, kind of investigating. Now, this is when I start kind of getting a little annoyed with this episode a little bit, I'm going to be honest, because we got, a few scenes here that I'm not too sure how I feel about yet, and I will mention them real quick. Now, basically, of course, we get to see that Bigby was shot, of course, but we do see that he is okay, so it is kind of just, kind of a close call for him. But basically, they're trying to put the mirror back together, and there's a piece that's missing. Now, this part was definitely very interesting to me. Obviously, we know Crane is up to something here, and it kind of builds up the tension here, but I really do like the scene a lot, but Bluebird pissed me off. I don't know what it is. This dude just starts to piss me off in this episode. I kind of get where the dude's coming from, but at the same time, he's a little rough. I'm just like, okay, dude, like, chill out. Bigby, honestly, is the perfect person to deal with this, and he's just, like, not letting Bigby do this on his own. He's like, no, okay, you go here, well, I'm gonna go here, and I'm gonna do this. Like, it's like, oh, man, honestly, dude, back off. But, anyway, so I wasn't the biggest fan of his character in this episode. He wasn't in much of it, but in that scene, I was like, okay, I don't really like this guy too much, basically. So, anyway, now, he goes to Crane's house, which was also a huge surprise to me. But basically, you guys are going to have to, I do apologize. I can't remember this guy's name for some reason. But basically, we got this guy that's kind of, as Bigby's searching the house, basically, you've got some really weird letters, about Snow and how he loves her and this and that. And it's like, okay, then. But basically, there's a guy that's in the bedroom, basically, and he is trying to sneak out. And it's the guy we saw back in the last episode, but I forget this guy's name. So somebody comment in the comment section below. There's so many names, I'm still trying to learn some of them. But basically, he's trying to sneak out, and Bigby catches him, right? And, in this moment, I was like, okay, what is this dude up to? And in the end, I'm still kind of suspicious about this guy a little bit. But basically, we got Snow that kind of comes in. She kind of interferes as they talk or whatever. And I like it too, because Bigby's like, no, he takes that like bag or whatever he has, and he's looking or whatever, and it's all this stuff, and basically he finds the thing that we saw in the last episode as well too, and of course we're all kind of like, okay, like what is this guy's involvement with this, of course. So we do, nothing bad goes down, nothing like ensues, no fight ensues, but it is a moment of kind of wondering what's going on, that type of thing. So definitely an interesting scene for that character, absolutely. Now we get to see Bigby also go to the bar, of course, Holly's bar basically, and we have Gren and we have the woodsman character that are there basically, and Gren is drunk. He's drunk out of his mind basically, and we can see that here as we can see him like slurring his words and all this kind of stuff. And some of this stuff I'm like, okay, like where are we going here with the story? I was kind of like, okay, like let's keep it moving, but basically we got this fight that kind of starts up between him and the woodsman, and basically it's kind of a fight. I do break up the fight. I'll let you guys know I do break up the fight in this moment, but basically then he kind of goes to search, Holly's room basically, and she's kind of just sleeping there, still in her kind of fairy tale mode or whatever. And I'm like, oh my goodness, bro. But anyway, so basically, she kind of mistakes, she basically mistakes Bigby for somebody else, and all this kind of stuff. So some of this stuff, I'm like, okay, it's decent, but it's not my favorite stuff. And around halfway through the episode, I'm like, I was kind of getting a little bored. I'm not gonna lie, but still decent, with the investigations and stuff like that, but I kind of wanted it to keep moving a bit more. So, basically, after that, we have Snow and we have Bigby that meet up. Of course, he calls her up, and then they meet up, of course, at 2 a.m., but it is a little past the time, and then they get there, and a little girl answers the door, and I'm just like, huh, okay, that's not what I was expecting, and it throws all of us off, me included. I'm just like, okay, so, and I like how Bigby just looks at Snow, and he's like, you talk to her. I don't know how to talk to, what, kids, it's just like, yeah, it's, I don't know, I found that kind of funny, but, because Bigby he doesn't have time, he doesn't know how to talk to kids right now when he's in a situation like this, but basically, almost ever, honestly, Snow's always the one that talks to the kids, right, while he kind of deals with the other stuff. So, basically, they go in, of course, and we've got this little girl, and she's like, it's past my bedtime, this and that, and it's kind of this rush, like, the little girl's like, okay, I'm not allowed to let people in, let alone, you guys searching around here for a long time, like, okay, like, what are you doing? And basically, then we get the reveal of the older lady, basically, that is her undercover self, and basically, she is, I guess, obsessed with this tree here that she has, but we do find out the crane was there. We do find out from her the crane was there, indeed, and we basically, at least me as Bigby, I decide to let her join, and basically, Snow's kind of like, okay, like, why, but keep your friends close, your enemies closer. Honestly, that's kind of my motto with this situation, and honestly, I really do think that in this moment, I am interested in seeing what they do, what we see of her character going forward, but man, definitely an odd scene. Definitely a very odd scene, and I'm not too sure how to think, what to think about it so far. So, yeah, that's that. So, basically, then we get the ending of the episode, okay? So, then we get Crane. So, we find out, basically, that, or at least it seems like from Snow's perspective, that, no, he probably didn't kill, Lily. He probably didn't do any of this stuff. And this was definitely the most surprising part of the episode for me, because I was just like, okay, so, if it's not him, who did it? And I'm kind of Bigby's side of things, where I'm like, yeah, like, who else would it be? It's like, after all this, it doesn't matter. Still, for what you did with the money and stuff, I'm still going to put you under arrest, So we put him under arrest, basically, but we, I guess, kind of, are starting to assume now that he didn't kill, which I can agree with Snow a little bit. It does kind of seem like then in that moment when he's kind of crying in front of them and he's kind of, helpless, that he doesn't really seem like the kind of guy that would do it, which is kind of what I found odd about last episode when we found out that it was him that killed Lily, is that I'm like, it's not, I remember I saw that, I'm like, Crane out of anybody? The Gregory 2.0, right? It's like, I'm just like, no, I don't know about that, so, but I was still kind of like, okay, I guess so. So they fooled me with that one because I wasn't exactly sure. But basically, then we get introduced to, of course, a huge new character from what it seems like, a Bloody Mary character. So, interesting. So, basically, she is a new character. She wants to take Crane with them, of course, and she is a really cool villain so far. I gotta say, I really like her a lot. She is a pretty impressive character so far. She kind of comes in with the two cars, kind of blocking them off in the alleyway. You got the two twins there, basically, and, yeah, so let's talk about it. So, they try to, in this version, so obviously Bigby's not going to give up Crane that easy. But basically, he kind of, you know, stands in the way. Snow's in the back with Crane. And basically, the guys, the two twins, start shooting at Bigby. Now, he goes down, and for a minute, I'm like, are they gonna kill off Bigby? And I'm like, okay, probably not, obviously. But basically, he kind of gets back up, but then you see the eyes, and I'm just like, oh, darn. So then he turns, and it's like 2 times more than he was before. He turns wolf mode, and basically starts, like, the guys start firing at him. It's not doing a darn thing. And he basically fights back at them. Now, you do have an option to save one of the twins, and I'm going to be honest, guys, I know this might sound brutal. I did not save them. I did kill them just because I just simply think that they've kind of crossed the line. I mean, I'm sorry, they held me at gunpoint early in the episode, and now they do this crap. No, I'm sorry. I'm not, no mercy on them. I'm just saying. So, of course, that is one thing I did. I took them down, killed them, and basically we've got, you know, kind of, you know, the Bloody Mary, basically, character that kind of comes in. And I believe that's what she calls herself, right? But basically, she kind of comes in, and she, of course, she wants to, you know, to kill Bigby or whatever. And then Snow decides to step in and let her take Crane. So that is exactly what they do. It looks like, you know, Bigby is, you know, pretty beaten up, but I think he'll be okay. But basically, they kind of drive off, and that is the conclusion of the episode, with this new character now kind of just driving off, and who knows where it's going to go from here. So we only got 2 episodes left, so things are definitely really starting to get crazy now. We can clearly see now that things are about to really go crazy because, you know, Bigby has, you know, just lost it again, wolf mode in this moment. We got Snow now that's, you know, of course, you know, they took Crane as Snow kind of requested that they would, just to let, you know, Bigby live. But yeah, that is basically that. So, really, really big episode. So, in terms of what I think the beginning of the episode and a lot of the opening scene and stuff, I really enjoyed. Around halfway through the episode, there was some odd stuff that I wasn't the biggest fan of, I'll be honest. And then at the end of the episode, I was like, okay, I love this. Like, this is like one of the best scenes ever. So, I would say for this episode, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. You know, I think an 8 out of 10 is a good rating. We had a great introduction to a new character at the end. We had a great fight scene at the end. We had a lot of great stuff near the beginning. The middle was a little blah for me personally, so I would say an 8 out of 10 is probably justified for this episode. But still a really good episode. Still really enjoyed this episode a lot, and I can tell things are about to pick up. So, and you know, I definitely know that according to Brian, apparently episode 4 is a bit slower. So, definitely hoping to see a little bit more next episode. Hopefully it's not too slow, but I'm definitely interested in seeing where it goes because we only got these 2 episodes left. So, anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Write your comments in the comment section below. If you guys are new here, click the subscribe button to send my videos for The Wolf Among Us. Follow Dan's Walking Reviews, subscribe, guys, and of course, I'll see you guys really soon for another video for The Wolf Among Us. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and peace out.
Anybody out there?